What's up, everybody? We're about to go on an adventure. An adventure in Retardville. Glad to see we still have an ice-cold bitch. Damn it! My car's covered in Joe Kennedy. What's up, everyone? Hunter Avallone here, and welcome to Adventures in Retardville, the show where we talk about some of the dumbest things that happened over this past month of January. And believe me, we have more stupid things to talk about than liberals have in genders. So let's make like the Titanic and dive right in. Now, our first story is, of course, the most recent and relevant, Donald Trump's State of the Union address. Now, I thought his speech was excellent, it was inspiring, and it truly made you feel proud to be an American. Now, as far as the State of the Union went, Donald Trump was the clear winner, with over 75% of viewers approving of the speech, while Democrats were, predictably, the obvious losers. I mean, these Democrats refused to stand for anything. Trump could have announced that he discovered the cure for cancer, and the Democrats would have just sat there. They refused to stand for veterans, low black unemployment rates, and even for 2 teenage girls who were tragically murdered by illegal immigrants. Now, maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty sure Democrats are gonna want to win future elections. And maybe, just maybe, the best way of doing that isn't by looking like a bunch of American-hating bastards. However, this is somewhat understandable. I mean, the only time I've ever seen a Democrat stand up is when they're going to collect their welfare. Now, it's really important to note that Democrats are currently really pissed off at Donald Trump because Donald Trump recently introduced a brilliant deal which makes Democrats look stupid regardless of the choice they make. The deal is, Trump grants citizenship to 1.8 million illegals and in exchange is given billions of dollars to build the wall. So now, if Democrats say no, they've just betrayed their base and they've betrayed their oh so precious dreamers, which they love apparently more than American citizens. And if they say yes, well, they've saved the dreamers or whatever, but then the wall goes up. Trump has completely backed them into a corner and they absolutely hate it. And you know, come to think of it, that may explain why Nancy Pelosi looks like she's auditioning for Orc Leader in the new Lord of the Rings movie. Now, once Trump's excellent and unifying speech was over, the Democrats hobbled on over to hear the shrill shrieking of a triggered maniac, Joe Kennedy. Now, the speech was, obviously horrible, but I did notice Joe Kennedy's lips looked a little bit shiny. And no, I'm not about to be petty or stupid or anything. I'm just saying, I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do to earn a living, especially when you give speeches like this.
Many have spent the last year anxious, angry, afraid. We all feel the fractured fault lines across our country.
Yeah, okay, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but just if you feel afraid doesn't necessarily mean there's a reason to be afraid. Someone feeling afraid doesn't always mean there is a threat. Sometimes people are just wimps.
We see an economy that makes stocks soar, investor portfolios bulge, and corporate profits climb, but fails to give workers their fair share of the reward.
At least you tried.
We choose an economy strong enough to boast record stock prices and brave enough to admit that top CEOs making 300 times their average worker is not right.
In case you haven't already figured it out, Democrats hate Americans and they hate success. What's not right about that? Who's to say these people didn't work super hard all their life to get to where they are right now? There is nothing wrong with being successful, regardless of what this Kennedy bitch says.
And to all the dreamers out there watching tonight, let me be absolutely clear. Ustedes son parte de nuestra historia. Vamos a luchar. Vamos a luchar por ustedes.
If God were real, I would beg him to strike me dead. We have reached virtue signaling at a feat I never knew possible.
You sat high atop your mom's shoulders and held a sign that read, "Build a wall, and my generation will tear it down."
Really? Okay, well, once you guys figure out which bathroom to use, and then you're ready to start tearing down walls, give me a call. All in all, we saw Democrats expose their own utter hatred for America, and we saw true Americans rally behind a message of unity and a message of hope. And finally, to Joe Kennedy, I went ahead and got you these. First off, just to say, I'm sorry for your loss. Also, I know girls love receiving flowers, so you're welcome. The next story I want to talk about happened early on January, and yes, you've probably already heard about it. The H&M PR nightmare. Basically what happened was, H&M had a black boy model a shirt that said, "Coolest monkey in the jungle." And predictably, where there was no actual intention to be racist, everyone saw racism. Everyone really went crazy over this. Everyone was super triggered, and let me just say, it could have been so much worse. I mean, come on, guys. It could have been a black boy modeling a Finding Nemo shirt that said, "Have you seen my dad?" The mother of the boy who modeled the shirt even said to get over it, telling everyone to stop crying wolf, and it was just one of the many shirts her son had modeled. But unfortunately, that really didn't matter, and it certainly didn't stop people from going along with this outrage culture. In South Africa, angry rioters, not protesters, rioters, raided an H&M store.
Is this allowed? Woo! Ninja style, ninja style. Oh, god damn. Oh, ninja. Yeah, ninja.
Well, this is just wonderful. Kind of like saying, we're mad that we're being stereotyped as animals, so in return, we're gonna act like animals. Then, because of this demented behavior, H&M closed their stores in South Africa, putting black people out of work. I used to work at a clothing store, okay? I know how this shit works. You receive a box with new shirts and instructions on where to put them up in the store. These individual stores had nothing to do with the shirt. Going around and trashing stores is not only counterproductive, but it just makes you fit an unfortunate stereotype. Mr. Malema, the party's leader, said the image had to be taken seriously. "We cannot allow the humiliation of black people to continue," he said. "No one should make jokes about the dignity of black people." Yeah, the only people making jokes about the dignity of black people is you and your barbaric group of rioters. Just pull your head out of your ass, take off your "I see racism everywhere" glasses, and think about this for a second. What's the worst thing a business could be called in today's society? Probably racist. Do you honestly think the designers of that shirt sat around at a table and thought, how can we be racist? How can we let everyone know we really don't like black people? It makes no sense. Okay, they're trying to sell shirts and they're trying to sell to as many people as possible. All this was an unfortunate mistake. And instead of seeing that, you'd prefer to play the victim. And because of that, you cost several innocent people their jobs. So you can go ahead and fuck right off. Well, why don't we take a little break and go on to the show within a show, tweeting like a tard. Now remember, in Retardville, you've always got to check the closet for monsters, alright? Horrifying. Now our first tweet comes from Jamie Lee Curtis. You know that actress who was in like one successful movie 30 years ago? Yeah, her. Apparently she's got a butch haircut and hates Donald Trump. Shocker! This Hawaii missile scare is on you, Mr. Trump. The real fear that mothers and fathers and children felt is on you. It is on your arrogance, hubris, narcissism, rage, ego, immaturity, and your unstable idiocy. Shame on your hate-filled self. You did this! Someone is on her period. This is kind of like the thanks Obama meme, but not even slightly funny, because Jamie here is actually serious. You know, this might come as a bit of a shocker for you, but you can't actually blame Donald Trump for everything that goes wrong in this world. Donald Trump had about as much to do with the Hawaiian missile scare as you did, Jamie. Listen, I understand. I know that being famous for mostly just screaming in an old horror movie must suck, but doing things like this isn't gonna help you get any more relevant. Next up, Tess Holliday has some angry remarks for her followers. Just letting y'all know, 2018 is the year of zero fuckery. If you come on my page with comments that are pro-Trump, racist, homophobic, transphobic, or nonsense that America isn't a very broken country, you will be blocked. Don't care if we went to kindergarten together or family. Wow, well, it's rather ironic that her last name is Holiday, because I almost feel like it would be a holiday if she would just shut the hell up. Now, Tess seems a little extra grouchy in this tweet. You know, maybe she hasn't eaten in the last 5 minutes, I don't really know. Either way, it's really wimpy to block anyone that you disagree with. I mean, she's basically saying if you support Trump, or you don't think America sucks, then she's going to block you. Listen, every country can continue to improve, okay? That's obvious. But don't for 1 second suggest that America is a very broken country. No country in the world is as accepting of transgender people, gay people, or even fat people, Tess. I mean, come on. It's because of America and its capitalist system that you are able to gorge yourself and look like the female version of Jabba the Hutt. My boyfriend just texted me to say he's realizing that as whites, it's our civic duty not to have children and add more white people to the world. So proud. Well, I, for one, am very glad you guys are not reproducing. Not because we don't need more white people, but because we don't need more retards. Next up, we're gonna talk about Mark Ruffalo, the latest idiotic liberal subordinate running rampant in Hollywood. It's really quite ironic that he's famous for playing a big, stupid buffoon in The Avengers, but really doesn't seem that much different in real life. He recently unhashed his extremely demeaning opinion of women. Let's go ahead and listen to him trip over his words as he attempts to check off every single dreadful SJW talking point.
When you're privileged, you have a voice. And right now, men are privileged. They have a privilege over women, you know? It's just the way it is. And so we have to make a space inside of our privilege for a safe space for women to speak up. And I hope, I'm hoping that more and more actors, men, will do it. But there are ones that do. It's just we need more.
First of all, men are not any more privileged in this country than women. Everyone has certain advantages over each other, I'll give you that. But there's not a single right a man has that a woman doesn't when it comes to America. So that really makes no sense. And secondly, how demeaning can you possibly be? I mean, maybe I'm confused here, but I thought women were strong, empowered, and amazing creatures. Yet Mark here thinks that they're so weak and so fragile, they need men to create safe spaces just so women can speak. Fuck that. I believe women are strong, independent individuals who can speak for themselves without some BS safe space. It's this pathetic and backwards progressive idea that 1 second claims women are strong, independent, and empowered, and then turns around and treats women as if they are these fragile weaklings. Similar to Oxford College, which recently gave women more time to finish exams than men, this idea is now claiming that women can't do as well as men, or that women need men to create these safe spaces for them. That's completely against modern feminism. You know, I'll be honest, it's really exhausting to keep up with all these mental gymnastics. This is yet another reason why I don't like modern feminism. It's demeaning and gross. To be a feminist, you must first believe that women are weak, oppressed losers. So I'm very sorry, Mark. Your virtue signaling doesn't make you look cool, it makes you look quite sexist. And finally, we finish with the cream of the crop, CNN's recent article, "Cuckolding can be positive for some couples," study says. Now, for those who don't know, cuckolding is when you willingly let another man have sex with your wife while you watch. Now, this article is written by Ian Kerner, and I mean, just look into this poor guy's eyes. I am so sorry, bro. But it's not cuckolding if you weren't home when it happened. LeMiller surveyed thousands of Americans and found that 58% of men and about a third of women had fantasized about cuckolding. Okay, so what I'm getting is a bunch of American men are spineless weaklings, things we already knew. This survey, if anything, is a testament to how emasculated men have become in America. And this can be traced right back to this toxic masculinity BS. Being masculine is so discouraged that American men now feel guilty for feeling entitled to loyalty. And you say women fantasize about this also? Who's to say this isn't a way for women to express their desire to actually see their man show some signs of jealousy and, yes, maybe some hints of masculinity. And the emotions surrounding seeing your partner with someone else can add to the turn-on, explains Savage. It's not cuckolding if there isn't an element of humiliation, degradation, or denial, he said. Our erotic imaginations have the ability to turn shame lemons into delicious kink lemonade. Tried so hard and got so far. CNN, do us all a favor and stop trying to suggest that this is some new, sexy kind of thing. Alright, I get it, it's a free country, people can do what they want, but don't try and suggest that this is a new, unique, sexy, sexual endeavor, or that the social stigma should somehow be removed. I mean, I can tell you right now that when I'm married, if another man has sex with my wife or my girlfriend, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. Overall, our research found that for the most part, cuckolding tends to be a positive fantasy and behavior. It doesn't appear to be evidence of disturbance or an unhealthy relationship or of disregard for one's partner. Yeah, I mean, I completely disagree with this. Letting your wife cheat on you is not only a sign of utter weakness, it's most definitely unhealthy for the relationship. I mean, even if you're having these ideas or these thoughts that you want someone else to sleep with your girlfriend, or your girlfriend's thinking about how she wants another man to sleep with her, that seems a little unhealthy. Again, it's a free country, do what you want, but it's pretty low for CNN to be sharing this kind of nonsense. I guess when I called them Cuck News Network a few weeks ago, I really wasn't wrong. Well, there you guys have it. Just a few of the crazy and stupid things that happened over this past month of January. Please give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone for watching. Unlike Muslims, peace.